This message is for men over 60 who masturbate. You might not realize that your habits could be sapping your sexual vitality. In my practice, I've seen men struggle with weaker erections, reduced sensitivity, and shattered confidence, all linked to how they practice self-pleasure. Few people talk about this, but I'm here to shed light on it. I'm Dr. Katherine Rotker, and for over 20 years, I've specialized in senior men's sexual health. Every week, I help men like you tackle these challenges. This isn't about shaming you, it's about empowering you. Masturbation isn't inherently good or bad, but done incorrectly, it can strain blood flow, disrupt hormones, and leave you emotionally isolated. Done right, it can be a tool for strength. The key lies in technique, timing, and understanding your body's needs. In this discussion, I'll reveal 6 hidden risks you've likely never heard about, show you how to turn this habit into a health booster, and share a natural, science-backed 7-second method to restore firmness and drive without pills or prescriptions. Before we dive in, please comment with a 1 if this resonates with you or a 0 if it's new information. We read every comment and respond personally. Subscribe for honest senior health strategies. Let's begin with a risk that affects your emotional well-being in ways you might not expect. There's a silent drain on your energy that's easy to overlook but powerful enough to steal your spark, especially if you rely on masturbation as a quick fix for stress or boredom. Many older men fall into a private cycle that erodes their strength without them noticing. Take Robert, a 68-year-old retired engineer who loved woodworking and daily walks. He started feeling a strange heaviness despite steady sleep and unchanged medications. A deep exhaustion followed him daily. When he tried returning to his projects, he lacked the energy. Robert confided, "Doctor, I don't know what's happening. I feel drained every morning, like someone stole my battery overnight. I'm too embarrassed to talk about it." That confusion and hidden shame are more common than you think. If you felt this, know it's not a moral failing, it's a health issue deserving respect and understanding. Robert's exhaustion ties to a biological truth most men never learn. Frequent masturbation can spike cortisol, the stress hormone, putting your system on high alert and demanding resources to recover. Over time, this slows recovery, strains metabolism, and leaves you tired, weak, and emotionally worn. You deserve to live with strength and confidence, but frequent masturbation can trigger a quiet pattern that robs you of both. The fatigue it causes often leads to skipping physical activity, which weakens muscles, reduces endurance, and impacts heart health and brain sharpness. These small energy dips seem harmless but accumulate, increasing risks of infections, falls, and loss of independence. Many men believe constant sexual release keeps them young and vital, but hormonal and metabolic shifts in later years change how your body handles it. Instead of energizing you, frequent release can drain the systems you rely on for stability. A smarter approach is moderation. Aim for 2 to 3 times a week at most to allow recovery. Include rest days between sessions and support hormone balance with nourishing foods and hydration. While your body endures this fatigue, your brain faces a deeper threat. Repeated self-stimulation after 60 can rewire your reward circuits, leaving you chasing relief rather than enjoying it. You deserve a fulfilling sex life, but dopamine dysregulation can undermine that. Dopamine, the brain's reward messenger, becomes less responsive with age, requiring more stimulation for the same spark. Habits that once satisfied may feel flat, pushing you to repeat them more to recapture the feeling. Thomas, a 71-year-old retired principal, lived a structured life but found masturbation became a daily requirement rather than pleasure. He said, "It wasn't about pleasure anymore. It felt like I couldn't think clearly until I did it. That scared me because I'd never felt so out of control." When a private act becomes a compulsion, it steals mental freedom, shifting from desire to silencing restless cravings. Healthy sexual expression matters, but dopamine-driven urges can erode control. One release turns into a ritual, then multiple daily sessions as your brain raises the reward threshold. This neuroadaptation locks you into a cycle that's hard to break. The consequences extend beyond the bedroom. Motivation for hobbies like reading or gardening fades. Thoughts grow hazy, attention drifts, and emotional flatness sets in, draining color from daily life. Even if your body responds, the drive to connect with others often diminishes, leading to withdrawal from friendships and family. This is the hidden tragedy: your brain locks onto sexual release, sidelining other joys. Experts call this neurochemical hijacking, where your reward system prioritizes one craving over all else, narrowing your world until release feels like the only spark left. There's hope, though. Your brain's neuroplasticity can rebuild healthier reward pathways at any age. Slow the pattern by spacing out sessions with at least a day in between. Exercise, like walking, raises dopamine steadily. Reconnect with neglected hobbies, read a book, or call a trusted friend. These steps help your brain relearn richer reward patterns, celebrating connection and creativity. Intimacy includes sharing thoughts and building bonds, not just climax. Over-relying on masturbation risks suffocating these deeper experiences. Beyond the brain, your heart faces sudden strain. Even cardiologists can miss the link between self-stimulation and cardiovascular spikes. Frank, 72, managed high blood pressure with discipline, but began experiencing chest tightness, pounding heartbeats, and dizziness. His wife noticed these episodes followed private sexual release. Sexual arousal and climax spike heart rate and blood pressure sharply, stressing the cardiovascular system. For men over 60 with hypertension or heart disease, these spikes can push the heart beyond safe limits. Frank thought his heart was strong because he stayed active, but sexual exertion differs from routine activity. Orgasm can increase heart rate by 30 to 50 beats per minute, with blood pressure climbing rapidly. An aging heart struggles with these surges, like an older car exposing engine weaknesses under sudden acceleration. Unlike exercise, which builds gradually, masturbation hits the system abruptly, especially with the secrecy and rush of tension. Moderating frequency and intensity, and discussing symptoms like chest discomfort or dizziness with your doctor can protect your heart and sexual health. These conversations are normal and vital. There's no shame in addressing them. Your sexual well-being and heart health are interconnected, deserving the same attention as any health aspect. Over-relying on masturbation for stress or loneliness can also weaken mental clarity and emotional balance. David, a 69-year-old accountant, noticed distraction and detachment from family. He said, "I couldn't concentrate. My thoughts circled back, and I couldn't focus on conversations or even the newspaper." When masturbation becomes the main coping mechanism, especially during transitions like retirement or loss, your brain loses flexibility, creating mental fog and rigid thinking. Warning signs include difficulty concentrating, using masturbation to avoid problems, or feeling anxious without release. You might neglect relationships or responsibilities, or notice memory slips and cloudiness post-act. Protect your clarity with mindfulness practices like deep breathing, daily walks, or tai chi to ease stress. Channel energy into painting, music, or journaling. Join a club or volunteer to rebuild belonging. Counseling can help process heavy emotions. These habits break the cycle of relying solely on sexual pleasure, making room for healthier stress management. Emotional growth comes from facing feelings, not running from them. Another surprising issue is hair loss. James, 73, noticed rapid thinning at his temples and crown, blaming genetics. But his daily masturbation habit triggered hormone spikes, particularly DHT, which shrinks hair follicles in genetically vulnerable men. Frequent hormonal surges accelerate this process. To counter it, reduce frequency to every other day, track changes in a journal, and consult your doctor about medications like finasteride to block DHT. Eat zinc, biotin, and protein-rich foods, stay active, and manage stress to stabilize hormones. Moderation respects your body's signals, preserving confidence. Finally, repeated intense self-stimulation can hardwire your brain to a specific arousal pattern, weakening erections with partners. Michael, 66, found his erections faded despite arousal, shaking his confidence. Constant solo stimulation creates a neural groove, making it hard to shift gears during partner intimacy. This mismatch, called weakened erection quality, feels humiliating but is reversible. Take a 7 to 14-day break from sexual activity to reset arousal pathways. Then, vary your routine with lighter touch and different paces. Practice mindfulness, focusing on sensations, and mimic partner-like stimulation. Emphasize the entire experience, not just climax.